So, yes, this is what you guys are hearing is a new episode. We're back. I feel like I've said this a lot, but you know what? It's our fucking shit. We can do whatever we want. We can post when we want. We can record when we want. Fuck you. How about that? It's been a while since we've been doing this. It's been since September. A lot of things have changed. I'm a married man. Zach doesn't have a car.
I
Uh,
have a car. It's
oh,
just not. The steering wheel isn't aligned. So to go straight, the wheel has to be about this degree for the wheels to be straight.
okay.
And the check engine light is always on.
Perfect. Perfect.
But other than that, it's fine.
Yeah.
This isn't an automatic. This isn't what's the word? Automatic. I'm thinking automatic, but that's not the word. Auto care podcast. Who gives a shit? I'm not a car person anyway.
Yeah, that's what this is. We've
Sean got a new
actually
car and he popped the trunk, expecting me to be impressed. I was like, dude, I don't know what any of this shit is.
we've decided to switch gears. We're not doing a film podcast anymore or a regular podcast with the other fellas. We are only doing automotive tech support, automotive
Yes,
support.
automotive. That's the word I was looking for.
We are strictly an automotive podcast. We're going to talk about the ins and outs of your
Shoot
car,
my cousin one.
how to fix your tires, how to tell if your brakes are going bad.
What do you
That
mean by fixing? What do you mean by fixed tires? Like put
how
air
to
into them,
put
or
air in.
like fix like if you run over a nail, because that
Yeah,
seems
we'll
to
tell you.
happen
We'll
on
tell you.
highways quite a bit for
Tell
no
you
reason.
how to plug tires.
Hmm. Hey, yeah.
This is also going to be. There's
See, if
also
we
going
were
to
on,
be just
if
like
we were on the
the
other podcast, I could have used a joke there that would have worked, but that would have been in poor taste.
yeah.
I'm gonna
We're
say
actually
like
just a. This is just
plug
a
your
hand.
girl
This
or
is just a
something.
handyman's podcast. We're going to tell you about new drill bits. Um, Tell
Yeah,
you about some belt sanders.
I can tell you what this does.
And how it's good for jerking off.
It's good for form if you're ever looking to become a switch hitter. Although that's a beginner one. I'm gonna go up to the slightly larger black ones.
As you should. And then after those ones, it becomes the dragon ones, the ones that
Dragon
have
one.
scales on the side.
I'm not familiar with that one, but I'll take your word for it.
Trust me. Um, seen a lot. I've seen a lot of movies since
Since September, I would certainly hope so.
like a lot. And
Yeah. And
um
I want to get it out of the way that I've been wanting to get this podcast back up in the air, and I've been prepared to get this podcast back up in the air at the starting time multiple times over the past few weeks, but somebody's been a little bit sleepy. So I'll send a message saying, good to go. And then I'll get something back at 3 a.m. saying, fuck, fell asleep. And then the next week, all right, let's do this. Get a message at 3 a.m. when I'm an hour away from drifting off to sleep. Fuck! Just fuck this time. So the fact that we're here in the first place is an absolute miracle.
yeah,
Now, if we can stay here, that would be God's gift
it
to
will
the
be.
world of cinema.
It will be. So there are a bunch of movies that I've seen I want to talk about. There is, I'm not really sure. I haven't really looked up news. This will just be what have we been watching? What have you been feeling? We'll get into news next week or whenever we want to record again. But what have you been?
Because
What
there's
have you been?
nothing more effective than intimidating the audience by saying, fuck you. This isn't about you. This is about us.
Yeah, I mean, this is we were again. Let me be. I'm going to speak directly to you guys. Let me be clear. If you followed
Like a
our other
Pokemon.
podcast, our other bi-monthly podcast, we've said this
5
multiple
months.
times. We've said this multiple times. We don't do this for you. We do this for money. We do this for clout. And we do this for our own shits and giggles. Okay? So we put out episodes when we want to put out the episodes. And if you're listening to this on my computer turned off. If you're listening to this on SoundCloud or Apple Podcast or on Spotify, I would suggest go to our YouTube channel so you can see me point directly at you. This isn't for you. This is for me, and this is for Zach. Got it?
I'm here to line my pockets with your Patreon donations. Well, we don't have a
Our
Patreon page,
OnlyFans subscription.
but we will.
Yep.
When we get big enough to line our pockets off of your generous donations, we'll definitely do that.
Look, and I'm just gonna say
I'm gonna eventually,
right now.
by that time, I'm gonna have better lighting because this is too hot. This looks fine, but it's really hot.
Well, it's fine. The money we steal that we generously accept from our listeners, we'll buy you new lights.
Oh, good, yeah.
And
or send it to my PO box directly.
Our very first episode.
It's a very YouTuber thing, right?
Yeah, our very first episode, we did a little.
We'll have an unboxing part of the episode where we pretend to act like, oh, look at this cool stuff that our fans are sending me. But no, it's just free shit that I don't have to pay for, that you have to pay for to ship.
It's the free water bottle I picked up at the Lowe's help desk.
Mm-hmm.
But our very first episode, we did a little thing where we started writing a script. Zach, I have continued a little bit in that script.
And yeah, I haven't actually. I've seen the script in person one time.
Yep. And
having to make any personal revisions to it.
We'll add this to our donation tiers. All we need is about $2 from every single person on the planet Earth.
Yeah, then you can pay the actors.
Mm-hmm.
And then I need $3 from everybody to finance the film.
And so what? That's $5. People spend $5. Come on, I spend $5 every month, every day, every hour. I'm spending $5.
A cup of coffee.
Exactly.
A cup of coffee, and then I need you to spend
those
$15 at the movie theater so we can make all this money back.
Yep. So anyway, we're back. We're doing it. This shit's happening.
I've heard that before.
What have you been watching? What's the last movie you watched?
The last movie I watched 2 movies on Monday.
All right.
And they were both Netflix movies. I watched Glass Onion and The Pale Blue Eye. I don't know why it took me so long to watch Glass Onion, but I was really excited for The Pale Blue Eye.
I have not currently watched Pale Blue Eye. That is a this weekend movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited for it. I've only heard good things. I heard Christian Bale is wonderful.
Christian Bale's wonderful, but I know you're a massive Harry Potter fan, so you love
Dudley.
This. Harry Millings.
I heard
he's a top. That's a top 5 performance I've seen this year. I would nominate him for an Oscar for that.
I'm very excited to see this.
And it's also just further proof that British actors are putting U.S. actors out of work. Because this is a U.S. story, and I'm pretty sure everybody in The Pale Blue Eye who was cast is British, all playing American roles. So we got to step it up, America.
We do.
Stop putting your focus into the woman king and lying to the general public. Start focusing on getting Americans to start doing American roles better than British people do American roles. That would be good. It's a little bit embarrassing.
What about American British roles?
I'll speak on. Well, you don't ever see that, do you?
No.
When's the last time you saw that? Although I did see that in another movie I watched on Netflix. It's not a Netflix movie. It came out in 2016. Have you ever seen A Monster Calls?
A Monster Calls.
Yeah.
It sounds very familiar. I probably have.
Yeah, it's got shit. Sigourney Weaver. It's
Felicity Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, Felicity Jones, and
is that kind of like
it's a Jay Leone directed movie who was forced to direct the second to last Jurassic World movie. It was handicapped by that. It was directed well, but the movie he had nothing to work with. And Lewis McDougall, Scottish film actor, who at the time was a kid when that came out, and I was astonished that a kid was giving a performance that good. Liam Neeson voices the monster. But the reason I mentioned Americans doing uh, British accents because Sigourney Weaver plays the mother in that movie, and that movie takes place over in somewhere in the UK. And Sigourney Weaver gives a pretty flawless British accent. But other than that, can you give me an example of an American playing a British person
Off the top of the
off
news.
the top of your dome piece? Because I sure as hell can't.
Um, dude, off the top of the dome. I don't.
Because it just doesn't happen.
I don't know if I can.
Because who
I
does
want to
British?
say, what is just no? Because I don't know why Daniel Craig came to mind, but it's not.
You, Daniel Craig is as English as they come.
No, I know that, and I knew that. I don't know why I don't know why he came to my head.
Maybe because Harry Mellings and they both played Americans with deep Southern accents.
Probably.
Benoit Blanc,
That's what I'm.
Edgar Allan Poe. I don't know, something to think about though.
Did Jared Leto do some kind of British accent?
Not well. If he
I
did,
didn't say well.
he hasn't given a good performance since.
It's Morbius.
No, that's true. He was snubbed for the Oscar that year for sure. Yeah, Jared Leto was. I wish he would try an English accent instead of going right to fucking cartoon Italian in House of Gucci. Although I still enjoyed House of Gucci.
So I saw.
Not my favorite Ridley Scott movie.
I did like that one.
It's fine, but
so let's see. Since our last episode on the the Don't Worry Darling sagas is probably when we stopped.
oh yeah, back when we were fully convinced that that was the worst film ever made based on the IMDb ratings.
And the press tour and
And we've since come to realize that you think it's pretty good, and I still haven't seen it. So, and I guess I'll see it at some point just to say that I saw it, and then we can talk about it. But I'm not overly excited to see it. But generally, since then, it's come out and been very meh. Nowhere near the worst film ever made, though.
no.
So I guess you can call that video clickbait, although I don't know who the fuck clicked on it, other than my mom. Actually, not even her. Dean's grandma, maybe.
Yeah.
Whoever our audience and the old folks on this. But yeah, the Don't Worry Darling, pretty much August to September era. So it's been a while.
It's all anyone talked about.
Yeah. We were supposed to bring this podcast back the night before your wedding.
Yes. That did not happen.
No, it did not happen.
No.
And I was like, I got to about 11 o'clock, looking at my phone. I was like, all right. And then I was like, shit, I can't drink it all because I got to save it all for tomorrow.
Yes.
Actually, that was that was Wednesday, and then the next day was the dress rehearsal. So no, I definitely got fucked up anyway.
Yeah. No,
it was that night that I was like, okay, I can't get too fucked up because we got a wedding tomorrow. And my suit was a size too small.
That's fine because our buddy Brian, his suit jacket was also way too small. So anyway, I have seen a bunch, and I have some that stand out. You could say. So
that and some films that we watched before that we didn't talk about.
Yes.
Right, like Prey and whatnot. If we get to that,
So I will
catch up to
start
shit.
with I recently saw so for my film class, every this week, well, this course, every Friday they do a film Friday. So they put up some movies to watch and you could watch them or you don't. It's not part of the grade. But last week's was 1973's American Graffiti.
George Lucas.
Yep.
George Lucas before he got a raging fucking hard on for Star Wars. No, but the Monster Calls thing was Sigourney Weaver is an American actress and she plays the British grandmother with a good British accent. That's the only thing that comes to the top of my head. Although I think I actually did get that point across before. So American Graffiti, George Lucas, pre Star Wars
Pre
era.
Star Wars,
Pre
Harrison
Star
Ford,
Wars.
um, um, Richard Dreyfuss.
Mhm.
I thought it was a very well movie. It was a very well made movie. It's one of those just stereotypical coming of age movies that just makes you wish you were a kid again, just like doing nothing, no responsibilities, driving around, just booling.
Sounds like a better version of the Fablemans.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So what else did I see? I saw. I'm just gonna rip through my list of movies that I've
yeah,
seen.
you can include shows too as well.
Yes. So obviously I went and saw Black Panther Wakanda Forever. We don't have to get in touch with it because I know you're not a Marvel fan, but I
I
want to
would
just
much rather watch that than The Woman King for
I
many reasons.
do want to
Uh,
touch on the fact that this was such a wonderful tribute to Chadwick Boseman and while see the thing I was nervous about was when it came out that they weren't going to recast him, yet they were had to change the script around, basically rewrite the whole movie. So I thought they did.
hard job.
Ryan Coogler did, I think, a fantastic job on paying tribute to someone who I guess you could say was like such an influential vocal leader for the black community in film, while progressing a story. It was very touching. I mean, the movie's been out for a while now, so it's not really into spoilers, but I mean, you're probably not going to see it. But
I
they,
might.
it was the
I
regular
don't know.
Marvel opening where they do like the Marvel logo and all this stuff. It was just complete silence, and it was just still shots of him, video footage of him from the other movies, and it was like my entire theater was like you could hear crickets, like you could hear like it was dead silent.
Hmm.
Um, it was very emotional. It was I think there are points in the movie which I was kind of skeptical of. Uh, Not like the way they did some things. Some parts were a little slow, but I mean, I think I rated it a 89 out of 100.
Well, I would imagine they had a really steep mountain to climb while paying tribute and also trying to advance a narrative at the same time, all in the span of I don't know how long the movie is. I'm going to assume it's probably around or less than 2 hours.
Like 212, I want to say.
Okay, so that's about 2 hours with credits.
Yeah. Angela Bassett, who I think just won. I
She
think she
does. She
won
won
for
a
her
Golden
performance.
Globe for supporting
I
actress.
Dude, she was fucking unbelievable. She was fucking unbelievable.
Well, it's
Unbelievable.
Angela Bassett. So
And
what did you say? It's the best Marvel performance you've seen
of a single character, like just straight up,
in one movie? Yeah,
it's close.
like in one movie. Like I'm not
Like it's
like if
very
you
close.
count like Iron Man over the course of a bunch of movies, like performance in one movie.
Probably.
Good.
Probably. She was fucking unreal. Um, so that's just
Better than Logan. Hugh Jackman and Logan.
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Well, that's good.
What else
No,
did I
I
say?
have nothing. I have nothing against Black Panther. And I like Ryan Coogler as a director.
I think he's the fucking man. It was very very nice to see. It brought me to tears. It got me invested in how they're gonna continue with the story going forward. It was overall a good job. Some minor things, but that's everything. There is no there's what do I have, five maybe perfect 100 out of 100 films out of the history of filmmaking. So it's
Yeah.
very very
Mm.
rare to be perfect.
Well,
Uh,
I think somebody like Ryan Coogler is capable of making a bad movie if you look at his track record.
yeah.
I don't know if you've seen Fruitvale Station. I mean, pretty much everything he's done has Michael B. Jordan in it. Obviously, Creed and Creed 2. Creed is one of it's my second favorite Rocky movie. Creed 2 I like a lot, but a little hesitant for Creed 3. I don't know how many more sports montages I have in me. Although I did not like the first Black Panther very much.
I
That's
think
beside the point.
I personally think the first Black Panther was better
Well, I
in
mean, I'm
a
sure there's a lot less that they had to, a lot fewer hoops they had to jump through
in an
while,
overall story
honoring
in an
somebody
overall
and still,
storytelling an overall storytelling version, I think, or aspect. I think that was a better movie.
I thought it was
I just
very
personally,
average.
oh, yeah. Well, that's neither here nor there. I
Nowhere near a Best Picture nomination, although
no,
the
no.
Oscars is kind of a fucking joke at this point.
Which okay, so perfect that you said Best Picture. A movie we both saw, which deserves definitely some credit for Best Picture, but I believe will win Best Animated. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
My favorite, as of this moment right now, and it's kind of close between, and I want to word this carefully. I don't want to just say Pinocchio because that Robert Zemeckis fucking Tom
Pinocchio?
Hanks shit fest could get interwoven in if I don't say del Toro's Pinocchio.
Pinocchio?
Yeah, we'll call it Pinocchio.
Okay.
Bring him back. All right. It's slowly starting to come back from 3 fucking years ago from our last episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm slowly going. It's like a teeter totter from Banshees and Pinocchio. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. But
Well, I'm gonna say it's probably not going
it's
in Best Picture of the Year. I
well,
very,
yeah.
very firmly believe it will win Best Animated Film of the Year.
Oh, 100%. It's between that and Puss in Boots. There's
Yeah.
nothing else animated that,
Yeah.
and I loved Puss in Boots too. That's another one that I
I thought
saw,
Puss in
but
Boots was really, really good.
I thought that, well, the thing that I love about both of them is they're not just,
They know what they
you know,
are.
generic Pixar style animation. They both have very specific, obviously, Guillermo del Toro's is stop motion, which is fucking beautiful. I
Mm.
love stop motion. And then Puss in Boots had this sort of like comic book looking animation to
Yeah,
it.
it didn't
And it
feel
was
like
very
Shrek.
satisfying to look
Didn't
at.
feel like the Shrek animation for it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
It
not
felt
like
more like
PS1, not like PS1 graphics.
yeah, it felt like more like
It
what
was
you would
fucking
see in
gorgeous.
like an animated show, but like
Yeah, but
not like a cartoon show.
but I would definitely the only thing the only reason it teeter totters for me between my favorite for Banshees of Inisherin and Pinocchio is because Banshees of Inisherin is its own original thing,
Mhm.
just from the mind of Martin McDonagh. Pinocchio has been told and told and told and retold over the span of almost 100 years.
Mhm.
But that being said, this is my favorite Pinocchio, and that includes the 1940 Walt Disney original.
Yeah. This is
This is a fucking beautiful
a
film.
masterpiece.
I watched it 4 times now.
I've seen it twice.
And I'm not an overly emotional person, but every single time I have cried.
Yeah. It was
And
and the
it's
thing, and I made sure to jot this down when I reviewed it on Letterboxd, was the one of the things that really jumped out to me was Del Toro made Geppetto just as much as of a main character as he did Pinocchio. Like as much, he gave him more. He gave him such a good backstory. He gave him good character arcs. He made him. I would, yes, the movie is Pinocchio, but it's way more than that. The family theme,
oh yeah, it definitely has Guillermo, like the Guillermo del Toro stamp on it.
yeah,
Even in a stop motion movie, it
which
still has all like the little nuances that Guillermo del Toro has, like his
like name another animated movie where you can directly see the director's footprints and
um
fingerprints.
the only one I can think of
Is this
is
one.
Mad God, which also came out this year. I believe this is also stop motion from Phil Tippett. I don't know where you it's on a streaming service somewhere, but it's called Mad God from Phil Tippett.
It's not on
A
a streaming
hard
service.
it's a hard R rated. It's really short. It's like under an hour and a half long.
Yeah, it's an hour and 24.
And I don't know if you're familiar with Phil Tippett's other work.
He has done,
He's
wait,
done
Phil
some
Tippett.
Starship Trooper stuff. Not the I think the Starship Troopers 2, which
He
wasn't very good, but
did.
it had all the violence of the original one. But
Did he
if
was
you
a
look at it, yeah, I mean,
wasn't was he a producer on RoboCop? I want to say I know he was a part
it
of it
seems
somehow.
like he probably, yeah. I'm trying to look up his IMDb. The RoboCop 3
He did something with RoboCop.
here, which RoboCop 3, I mean, say what you will.
He also
It's
did.
not,
Well, he's big in like the um
he's
uh
really big into animation.
animation and animatronic stuff. Because I think he did.
Mhm.
He was he was on Star Wars
Yeah,
for
he did.
something.
He did a,
I want to. Was it the? Did he
there
do
was a
the Rancor?
Mad God part one,
Did he
like
do? I
a
think
decade ago.
he was a part
Hmm?
of Star Wars somehow.
No, I'm gonna try to see if I can find something about the making of Jurassic Park. Here it is. Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. What
I don't
was
know how he was involved. Uh,
in what? Return of the Jedi.
yeah. I mean, I don't know how
He
old Phil Tippett is,
he
but
was
that was
the he was the
1980. That was
he was
40 years ago.
the Rancor.
Oh, he was an actor.
Yes,
He was the
but I don't know
Rancor.
how much
So
acting
maybe he
is
designed the Rancor. I don't know. I mean, you go back to stop
unless
motion.
he
The Rancor
acted.
is stop motion.
Yeah, so probably.
I mean, I don't want to say he was behind that. I don't want to put out false information or anything,
All right, let me fact check
but
it.
back to your original,
Tell our
yeah, but like
who's our
back to your
intern?
original point.
Who's our intern? Tell him to fact check it.
I don't remember what her name was last time. We'll call her Jessica now.
Oh, she's in the cage. Tell her to fact check it.
All right, Jessica, I need you to fact check Phil Tippett's involvement with the Rancor on Return of the Jedi. Make it fucking snappy, please. Thank you.
IMDb says he was an actor as Rancor in Return of the Jedi. Thank you, Jessica, for sending
Yeah,
me.
Phil Tippett is also 71 years old, so definitely the experience to be involved 40 years prior. But
Um,
I do remember watching um, some of Phil Tippett's stuff, and it definitely translated into Mad God. I think that's his best work. You should watch Mad God if you get the chance.
I will.
But yeah, back to Pinocchio. I mean,
No, 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 no.
no.
Guillermo del Toro's.
Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. No, we've already established. I'm not. If I'm going to refer to, I'm not even going to name it. The other
Far
adaptation,
West?
we're just going to call it Pinocchio.
Okay.
Leave
You're
it
right.
at that.
I have also watched Amsterdam. Wasn't too thrilled about it.
I haven't seen it.
It's empty. It's
From what
very
I've
vanilla.
heard, it's
But the best part of that movie was Christian Bale's performance, which is not.
as usually happens.
Um,
I mean, so basically, back to American Hustle with David O. Russell. Best part of that movie,
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. And that's kind of what David O. Russell had a little bit of a winning streak in the early 2010s, and then he fell off a cliff. I know he made a movie after American Hustle that was received horribly. So this was all. So it's been a decade of nothing. So Amsterdam, so reviews. I'm not gonna go by Rotten Tomatoes reviews because I have completely fucking boycotted that website. I have no respect for Rotten Tomatoes anymore. American Hustle, which is on the other side of Rotten Tomatoes for David O. Russell. I didn't think American Hustle was all that good, except for Christian Bale and Bradley Cooper. But De Niro was good too. Louis C.K. was in there. Silver Linings Playbook is amazing. Joy. Oh, there was Joy in 2015, which was very meh. But I haven't seen Amsterdam. What I have heard about Amsterdam is that it's very. It feels like multiple different movies smushed into one.
It is very vanilla. It is very empty. And with a cast list this enormous, you expect more. The movie was the taste of cardboard.
Are you just eating the cardboard, or are you like
You're
going
eating.
like that, like you would with styrofoam, where it just brings up the goosebumps?
You're eating it.
You're eating that? I don't know what's worse.
Tastes like cardboard.
Tastes like that.
Yes.
This is a shot glass, by the way. That was pretty cool. I got that as a white elephant for Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah, there's two of them.
I've also
Anyway.
seen.
Don't really care about Amsterdam. Amsterdam doesn't really
moving the needle for you.
It's not keeping me up at night thinking about Amsterdam like some other movies.
You know what movie is keeping you up at night?
What?
The Way of Water.
Not anymore. It was, you know what was interesting about The Way of Water? Before I saw it, it kept me up at night because I was like, I want this to fucking bomb. James Cameron, you think you can just come out fucking after all these years with a vanilla story?
Yep.
Great special effects.
Yep.
It was like, I mean, I'm very.
Let's dive into this because we had
all right.
Fuckload to talk about. So
right,
Zach
we'll talk about
saw this movie.
We'll talk about this, and then we'll go back to Pinocchio because Pinocchio deserves a lot more talk than The Way of Water does.
We can actually skip Pinocchio. We can go from Pinocchio because I have a couple other movies that I would like to talk about that I'm not sure if you've seen. I know you've
seen. Because we really haven't talked about Pinocchio.
We haven't. But
Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
I want to get all this stuff off my chest.
All right. So are we talking about this before we're going to Way of Water? Because once we go to Way of Water, it could go down quite a few rabbit holes.
Okay, let's go jump back to Pinocchio.
All right, I got to get myself in the frame. I forget about blue fucking Smurfs in space. All right. Now I'm back in fascist Italy.
Yep.
Ready.
Fascist Italy.
Back in fascist Italy with Gregory Mann and Ewan McGregor.
Yep.
Which is at this moment my favorite movie of the year. Slightly edging out Banshees, slightly right now. It fluctuates for me, but
no, I agree.
All right, go on.
This movie's fucking unbelievable. The movie was so good. It may be the best version of this classic of this classic.
I think it is the best version.
It puts that dog shit Disney Plus revenue money making Tom Hanks nightmare to shame.
I cannot keep my fucking hair down right now. I feel very Jufro. That's neither here nor there. Come on.
No, and just how much this movie there's a lot of familiarity, but it is also way different. And I love the fact that Guillermo del Toro, he expanded more with a darker, more adult tone in this movie than you would think would be in this movie, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think this is probably this is one of, if not the darkest PG rated film I have seen,
Yeah.
at least in a long time. And I think this is something that was kind of designed for Netflix, something that you're not gonna, put out in theaters and market to children, because I don't think this is a children's movie. I don't think this was ever marketed to be a children's movie. I think if you're familiar with Guillermo del Toro's work, I think there's going to be a lot of dark subject matter, and he
Yeah,
has been very, he goes into, you know, themes of war in a lot of his movies, Pan's Labyrinth and The Shape of Water, for going back to the Spanish Civil War and the Cold War, and he likes to interweave that in his narratives a lot. But I think on Netflix you can kind of rate anything whatever you want, and it doesn't really matter because anyone can just put it on at any given time. So I think this is the most adult centered PG movie I've ever seen. But I do think, and there's a lot of scenes in this movie that are going to petrify and terrify children. If I was if I was 7 years old, if I went back to being 7 years old and I watched this, there'd be a lot of stuff that would keep me up at night. But I mean, being who I am now at 25 years old, and I'm pretty much desensitized to everything. I mean, it hit me more emotionally, whereas for
yes.
children, this would, more of an adventure movie, and the great white whale, or I think they called it the dogfish in this movie, and
I don't
I think it
remember.
was the dogfish or something. Like that would terrify children today.
Oh, it was not appealing.
Oh, I fucking found it very appealing. I think this is an adult. I think this is an adult film. I no, not an adult film. Not what I mean by that. This is this is
An adult themed
being pandered
PG.
to, not pandered, but I'm struggling to find the right word for. This is for adults, but
Yeah.
children can also watch it. But I think the primary audience for this is adults,
You
and
can
I think they're going to get a lot out of it.
you can easily summarize this movie as oddly haunting yet deeply heartwarming.
Well, I mean, just bring up any Guillermo del Toro film, and I think that description will stand true for all of them.
I agree. So because the Way of Water is going to be probably our biggest rant or discussion, we can
James
move
Cameron
to
wins again.
Banshees of Inisherin,
Mm.
which I have this very highly rated. Um, it is a beautifully tragic tale. And
Also, the most Irish movie you will ever watch.
it is incredibly Irish. It is astoundingly Irish. Um,
The
Colin
most
Farrell
Irish movies
probably
that are
delivers one of the most mesmerizing performances I've seen in a very long time.
who? Colin Farrell.
Yes. It has uh this movie has just a compelling script, excellent performances, just the right amount of witty humor, and emotion. And I'm probably going to place this in my definitely in my top 10, maybe top 3 movies of all of 2022.
Oh, I would put it top. I mean, for me, it's top two. It fluctuates. Sometimes it's the first one. Sometimes it hasn't gone anywhere below two for me at any point.
Yeah.
I've watched Banshees 3 times now.
It is, and I think Barry Keoghan has one of the most underrated performances in it. He's
He's
fucking
amazing.
incredible.
I mean, you pick any performance from this movie, and you can call it underrated. You could call Colin Farrell's performance underrated just because it's not getting as much attention as, say, Austin Butler or Brendan Fraser. Although those guys definitely deserve to be up there because they were incredible in The Whale and Elvis. But I think what struck me, it was very relatable for me. I think most people are going to find his performance in this movie relatable, and to that point, I think they're also going to find Brendan Gleeson's performance relatable as someone who like sort of not a midlife crisis that Brendan Gleeson is having, but
Just the decision
I
to
mean,
move
just
on.
this waning, this sense of time waning on your life, and just wanting to leave something behind when you're gone.
Yeah.
And then behind that, it's got a
But it has the opposite
very
effect. It has the
yeah.
effect of what you deciding to move on, how that can affect others.
It is a very simple film if you look at it from just the shell. If you just two bros who one bro doesn't want to be bros with the other bro anymore. It's just a bromance breakup movie, and then you peel back the layers, and if you want to, there's so much more that you can look into.
Mm-hmm.
To like the Civil War in the background is a metaphor for their these two friends fighting. They're having their own civil war. That was very. That's the thing about Martin McDonagh movies, though.
It
It's
does it twice. You have this.
it's so
You have the civil war between the two of them. Then you have the civil war with just Colin Farrell. With do I or do I not keep pushing Brendan Gleeson to you know after being told from basically everyone to just let it go, he just he just can't. So
yeah. That's
the push and pull in his mind, I think the fucking movie was beautiful. I mean, there's really nothing else I can say.
I mean, it's beautiful in both respects, right? The way that it's told, the story is beautiful, the way it's executed is beautiful, the acting is beautiful, but also you look at the way that it's filmed, the Irish landscapes, the foggy sort of picturesque camera shots that you get sweeping across the landscape, and then you see like all the stone walls and everything. You're like, Martin McDonagh is not just a writer. This dude can direct a fucking movie and make it beautiful.
Yep.
Like it's
You feel emotion
yeah. When you
in
hear
just the landscape shots.
you hear the term every frame a picture from beautifully directed movies like Blade Runner 2049 or 1917, where every scene that you look at, you're like that could be
It could be a
on a
computer
painting in a
wallpaper.
museum. Everything in this movie looks gorgeous, and I
Correct.
loved it.
Correct.
And we haven't even. I mean, we've. That's the thing about this movie is it's such a simple story, but it also has so many complicated little inner mechanisms inside of it. Where I could probably talk about this movie for 24 hours if I really wanted to unpack everything. It's a if you want to look at it as a basic breakup story between two friends, you can look at it like that. And then you can look at everything that's interwoven inside of it. We haven't even talked about Carrie Condon in this movie, who I was personally my favorite part of the movie.
She was fucking
I
unreal.
loved Carrie Condon in this movie.
Well, I
And
love
I
her
hadn't
in
I hadn't
general.
seen Condon much outside of Better Call Saul. I haven't really seeked out much of her work. All I know her as is the daughter-in-law of Mike.
Well, you're not
I
gonna
didn't.
like the
So
fact
did I. And
she
she
voiced
is
Tony
fucking
Stark's
Irish.
Friday after his computer system in the later Avengers movies. You're not gonna like that, but she did.
I mean, it's fine. I don't. I don't. I don't absolutely despise Marvel as much as you think I do. I just don't give a shit about it, really. I there are bigger things on my plate. There are bigger fish to fry, namely the Woman King. But we'll get into that maybe in the next episode because I am livid with that movie,
It's not good.
as is pretty much the entire Black community. So
Yeah. Overall, I have this at a 90 out of 100. I think this movie is just that good.
I have a. I mean, I don't have a. I don't have a letterboxed. I don't. I'm sure I'll get one at some point.
Well, Letterbox is
As we
weird
keep
because it
doing this, I'll
only
probably have to get a
Letterbox has
letterbox
a
because
5-star rating system. So when I review it, I throw in my out of 100 rating system and kind of pair it with my stars.
like 4 point.
I
So
have it. Well,
4.5 out of 5
yeah, I have.
ish.
You can only
Whatever.
do full stars and half stars. So yeah, I have it as a 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, I wish they would just let you give like 1 to 100.
I
But
agree. That's how I rate my movies, 1 to 100.
yeah, and ironically, like Rotten Tomatoes lets you do that, and they still fuck it up
Yep.
beyond belief. But again,
Um,
we'll get into that probably in the next episode when I get a little get some research in front of me, and I'm going to destroy Rotten Tomatoes again. I'm
I
going to
have
destroy the Woman King.
I have two
That
more.
fucking sack of shit movie.
I have two more movies in here, and you already know one of them.
Yeah, we'll finish up. We'll finish up on the Banshees real quick.
Okay.
We'll give some closing thoughts. So one of the things that, and it wasn't something that struck me when I watched it the first time or the second time. I'd watched some videos on it afterwards, and I started to notice some things that I didn't notice by myself the first time that I watched it, like the absence of parent figures in this movie is very evident. That like very again like it's a very simple thing, but it's also a very complicated thing, i.e. Martin McDonagh. Every script that he's ever written, every movie that he's directed, very simple plot, but it has all these very complicated interconnected things in it. Look at In Bruges, which I love. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Fucking love it. But I think one of the really big themes in this movie that kind of gets overlooked is the lack of parental figures. You look at everybody on this island, the only parent that you see in any way, I think, is
Dominic.
Barry Cogan's father, the police officer who beats the shit out of him and fondles him, as you come to figure out through a drunken tirade from Porix. From Porrick. I'm not going to call him Colin Farrell anymore because I just love saying Porrick. It's just very satisfying. Porrick and Colin and Siobhan and
Dominic.
Dominic. Ironic that I forgot that one. But
Well, I think the scene where Dominic was basically asking Siobhan to go out on a date with him. I thought it was just the most cringy.
did you find that funny? Did you find that scene funny or absolutely heartbreaking?
Both. And I think that's why I found it funny because she basically was like, "Oh, no." And he was like, "Yeah, I mean, you're right."
That's the most Irish response ever. I'm gonna go back over there and do whatever it is I was gonna do over there. And he takes his hat. What's funny is the first time I watched that scene, my reaction was, "That's the saddest thing I've ever seen."
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a tear streaming down my ear because like
Because you just feel for the
and
kid
that yeah,
the
and
whole
then no,
movie.
the moment that it hit me was when he said, "There goes that dream,"
But he said
and
it.
I was
He
like,
said it in such a nonchalant, like,
I know because it is the most Irish movie ever. You're the no tears,
yeah,
just
just
okay.
straight face. Yeah,
I'm gonna go here now. Um,
yeah. He's like, what'd you? I forget his official wording, but when she was like, no, he goes, oh, well, there goes that
she goes,
dream. I'm gonna go.
yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
like
go over
the
here.
classic yeah no thing.
Yeah, no,
It's
yeah,
like, oh
yeah,
no yeah no I didn't think so no
yeah. Oh well, I'm gonna go back over here.
and the first time I
And then
watched
just
it
like does
I
like
was
he
like
like walks away a little bit and he like kicks his feet against like the grass and goes, yeah, yeah,
yeah and the first time I saw that I think I said the first time I saw it I found it sad. No, the first time I saw it I was like that was that was one of the best examples of great comedic timing that I've ever seen.
it was.
And
And
then
that's why I think I
after
found it
that
so funny because it was so
and then
it was so
when you figure
perfectly
out what
executed.
then what do you and then when you figure out what happens to Dominic and where it happens to Dominic, I was like, oh, that's really sad.
Yeah,
And then the second time I saw it, I was like, oh, I've been there, man.
yeah,
Oh, I've been there. But I mean, I didn't do, at least not yet. I didn't do what he did.
yeah.
But again, I mean,
And then just
just all,
across
I mean, all you have
across
to
the
really
pond
say
was
is
just that woman.
Martin McDonough screenplay.
I want to talk about that old woman, just like across
Oh
that
yeah,
pond,
the
just was
band, yeah, Mrs. McCormick,
Mrs. McCormick.
the Banshee of Inisharan, if you will.
Yep,
Yep, she's the Banshee.
she is.
And I was wondering if they were gonna. I didn't know if they were gonna name drop the name of the movie in the film, but
Oh, I as
I
soon
was
as
glad they
he
didn't do it. I was
as
glad they
soon as
didn't do it in like a cringy or stupid way.
oh no, as soon as
It
Colin
made
named
sense
his
in
song,
context.
I did the Leo whistle from
Yeah, there are no Banshees in Sharon.
yeah,
Do you know?
there was one.
Mm, and I've come to really love. I just like the word banshee now. It's a very fun. I think that's just with every like after watching this movie, everything's just very satisfying to say. Parik, even the way they say Dominic,
Hmm.
call him Javon, and I almost forgot the confessional scene.
Yeah, yeah.
You will be right fucked. I don't know if he said right fucked. I don't think it was right fucked, but
It was
whatever
right.
he said.
It was right fecht.
You will be good. Right maybe it was something it was fact. I don't know if it's good fact or right fact or something like that,
It was
but
very.
that's for like the absence of parental figures and Colm is suddenly without a father figure. Colm decides to I just don't like you no more, and he just stops talking to him.
It's just the most.
Suddenly he doesn't have a father figure, and then I don't know how we approach spoilers here. And something happens with Siobhan, and then suddenly he doesn't have him. His sister's obviously his mother figure,
Hmm.
and then after a while, he's just reduced to a scared little boy with
With no horse.
an unfortunate miniature donkey incident, which broke my fucking heart too.
Yep.
I fucking Jenny. My favorite Jenny in film, by the way, and that includes Forrest Gump.
Well, I fuck her.
Let's fuck Jenny for Forrest Gump.
Fuck her. All right. So that was
Mm-hmm.
Banshees. I did just watch actually last week. Uh, The Menu.
I want to watch that. I I really want to get around to watching that. I just haven't had the time.
Um, let me non-spoiler tell you
And
that
that's
I
what
wasn't sure what I was going to expect. Um, but what I experienced throughout watching it was a lot
another
more
Taylor
than
Twin
I
movie.
expected. or that I lack thereof expected. It is basically just a service worker's Midsummer.
Hmm. I mean, I figured there was definitely like some sinister shit going on just by watching the
Kind of.
trailer.
Kind of.
And kind of getting like this, like making fun of like super high
Foodies.
high quality food people who like serve
They call them
like a
food.
fucking leaf as a meal.
Mhm.
They're like, this is art.
That's
They
exactly that's
also
exactly
that
what
kind
this is.
of vibe, but other than that, I mean, this could be like I'm assuming there's probably a body count in this movie and shit goes hog wild. I don't know. But don't tell me because I do want
I'm
to
not.
watch it.
I'm not.
I'm
What I
assuming
am
based off
going
of
to
vibe
say
adaptation.
is what you think you will find out, you might not find out.
Okay, so we got a little bit of a who done it kind of a deal.
Nope. I can tell you right
No,
now, don't expect it's not a who done it.
no, not a who done it, but like the mystery aspect of a who done it where you're guessing what's going to happen next. Is it kind of like that where it's layered? Is it
Uh,
layering on where
so
it's
what I
trying to
can
reinforce
say
the next thing that's
is
gonna happen?
the menu is each course. So it's like 7 course, like a 7 course meal, and each course item builds into the grand finale.
Okay.
And what you expect from the trailer is not what happens in the movie. So that goes
Good. I
to
like this
a
direction.
perfect trailer.
Good.
And that's all I'm going to say it there.
Pretty much all I know
I
about it.
have it as a 83 out of 100.
Which on Letterboxd would be a
Four.
4 out of 5.
Correct.
Thanks, Letterboxd. Expand your rating systems, please.
I agree.
But okay. Out of all of the Anya Taylor-Joy films that you've seen this year, which is probably at least 3, even if by accident, what would you rate her performance in this one? Because I've seen The Northman and
4. I've seen 4.
4.
Yeah.
She's been in 4 fucking movies this year.
The Northman, The
Yeah,
Menu,
she just keeps popping up everywhere.
Soho, and
Yes, so that was last year.
and Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So
Amsterdam, that was the one.
I would rate her performances as Soho, Menu, uh, Northman, Amsterdam.
Okay. The one of the ones that I have seen. I mean, I may be biased towards the Northman. I also can't believe the Northman came out in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like 2022 was 3 years ago. I feel like I watched the Northman 3 years ago.
Yeah, I agree.
Another movie that was awesome that fucking bombed because I'm guessing something Marvel related came out near that time, or actually maybe not even. I don't know what the audience is for a 2 hour and 20 minute long slow burn Viking film from a from an art house director like Robert Eggers. If I was cloned to replace everybody on Earth, so if there were however many fucking billion people there are on Earth, probably like 8 billion at this point. If there were 8 billion me's, The Northman would be the highest grossing film of all time. I love movies like this. That, The Lighthouse, The Witch, everything Robert Eggers has come out with is I can't get enough of Robert Eggers, and the fact that the Northman bombed, we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna see any more big budget films from Robert Eggers, which is fine. I think he excels with small budgets. You know, A20. Well, was the Northman an A24 movie? I don't think it
I don't think it
was.
was.
I gotta see. Um, yeah, I mean, no, A24 doesn't give up budgets like that unless it was shared with yeah, no, not A24. Focus, Regency, um mainly Focus. Damn, interesting. But yeah, this movie bombed, but it's fine. I would prefer to get more The Witch or The Lighthouse. Anything with the and Robert Eggers, because every one of his movies starts with the.
Mhm.
Anything with that old fashioned the box ratio. I'm trying to think of the number. Um, it's the same with the Witch. Yeah, 1/19/1. The square ratio. So I take your face and I cut it like that.
Yes.
And he worked so well in the Witch because that way you can see like that way the woods is so much more intimidating, but and the lighthouse too. But I got really sidetracked there for a second because I was trying to figure out what the aspect ratio was. And that whole tangent just happened because I was trying to figure out which in Anya Taylor-Joy movie you enjoyed the most this year, which was
So
Soho, which is actually last year, which also bombed. Okay, no, wait, no, I'm not going into another tangent here.
nope, not into another tangent. We can
No,
go
I
into
can't
a
afford that
tangent.
kind of thing.
So anyway, menu good. Watch it. You'll like it. Now we can get into the final movie of 2022 that we've seen, which was Avatar.
The last movie of 2022 that we saw. I want to confirm that's accurate because I don't want it to be the last movie of 2022 that I watched.
No, it's probably not,
Was it
but it's
2022?
December
This was
17th.
before this was before Christmas. Holy shit.
I mean,
I gotta figure out how to slow down time.
I've seen movies after that, but like that was the main one. And we had a lot of takeaways from this film.
Very memey. I
It was
This would be the perfect movie to throw on.
when you're high.
Throw it on, mute it, and word every character for yourself.
Yeah.
You'll have a blast. Use the word bro and cuz every other sentence, and also bring back the humans with the same helicopters that the blue people easily shot bow and arrows through the fucking I assume bulletproof glass the first movie and
Mhm.
impaled them. Bring those same helicopters back. Don't make the glass any stronger so they can still shoot right through that
Oh,
glass
but
and don't ever miss.
but make the humans blue.
Yes, bring back the same other very underwhelming antagonists from the first movie, but turn them into blue giant smurfs. And also you have a kid. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
anyway, yeah,
He
bring back Stephen Lang and turn him. This is the thing I've noticed about James Cameron movies, dating back to Aliens. He seems to absolutely relish turning Marines into the most gung ho fucking cliche Marines you've ever seen on screen, wearing the fucking oak. These,
the Oakley's
what are
backwards
they
on the
called?
head.
Are they called the Navi?
The Navi.
Sure, whatever. The Navi. There
Dude,
is a
the Navi
character
Marine with the Oakley's backwards
with
on
the
his head.
Oakleys. This motherfucker is waiting to go back to Earth so we can get a Camaro.
Well,
He is that Marine.
The only thing
I
that
mean,
would have made
oh
it,
my
the
God,
only
the
thing that would have
fucking
made it better
the
is if the
oorah
Oakleys
marine
were,
shit. And
if the
people
Oakleys
don't talk
were
like that.
either white or clear framed.
And it's just, I'm getting very, very, I can hear my blood pressure going up because I absolutely hate everything about the human characters in Avatar: The Way of Water. They are so fucking cliche and they haven't evolved from the first film 13 years ago at all, almost 14 years ago at all. Not only in the way that they act and their mannerisms, but the technology that they brought.
Was just the
There's a
exact
whale,
same.
there's a whale, you're fucked. Oh, there's flying creatures with bow and arrows. You should have learned from the first movie
That you're
that
fucked.
those arrows are going to go through your windshields. Nope, they go through it again. Every human helicopter vehicle, whatever the fuck you want to call it, every human helicopter vehicle being operated by humans gets fucking tanked in this film, just like the first one. I mean, you had 13 years to plan this out. You had 13 years to write a a story that isn't just Pocahontas or Dances with Wolves. You could
Or
have done, and you did nothing.
this movie is visually stunning. Don't watch it with
Mostly,
sound. Um, Zoe Saldana's probably the best performance.
which isn't saying much.
Yep, but it's not saying much.
I mean, Kate
Um,
Winslet's in here, but she's mostly reduced to just screaming
yep.
and holding her breath underwater, which I didn't even notice for a record amount of
Storyline.
time.
The storyline was completely mediocre. I gave zero fucks about any character really. Um, and then the biggest thing was just like that third act was where we were like just James Cameron was just masturbating in the editing room the entire time.
Well, that's everybody. That seems to be everybody's favorite part of the movie.
Uh, and he like he it was basically his entire film resume into a mosh pit.
Yeah, and I mean, you could take that, you know, metaphorically, or you could take that literally
Yeah.
because it's literally the truth.
Yes.
We
Like
do you still
we
have
wrote
that
down.
list on your phone of all the? It's
Yeah.
literally every James Cameron movie that James Cameron has ever James Cameron, and
And other movies.
and, and squashed them. I wish he squashed them because then we would have ended up with a shorter movie because this movie is way too fucking long and it has no business being almost 3.5 hours long. But
This movie has 13 movies that we've come up with crammed into one movie.
yeah, so you can read those movies out.
I will.
Yeah, read
These
those movies
13
out.
movies are Aliens,
Obviously,
Terminator,
the Marines gun ho, boom, 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 boom.
yep. Aliens, Terminator, The Abyss, Titanic, Jaws, Soul Surfer, Free Willy, Pocahontas, Waterworld, Dances with Wolves, Hostiles, Prisoners, and Moby Dick.
Now, if all of you at home were playing along and if you caught anything there that sounded, oh, one of those things has a lot to do with the other. What is it? Water! A lot of fucking water. There is more water in this movie than I have drank in my life or seen in an ocean. I haven't seen this much fucking water since I don't know. Uh every teenage girl went to go see Man of Steel with Henry Cavill or The Witcher with Henry anything with Henry
Magic
Cavill really.
Mike
Magic Mike's a good one. Magic Mike 2, whatever it was called.
XL,
Super Soaker. I don't know. Yeah,
XXL. Yeah.
sure. I call it Super Soaker
Yeah.
because that's the effect it has on me. But I haven't
Movie
seen
has so
this
much water.
sheer quantity of agua, of H2O in my fucking life.
So much. And it's all
And the
fake.
first half the movie, you don't even see water.
No.
you're the first half of the movies is so I mean it's very I don't know how you can make an Avatar movie boring, but he made half of this movie an absolute slog to get through. And I don't want to be misquoted here from any major journalists watching this or misconstrued by
Big J journalists.
any big game Roger Ebert reviewer misquoting me here, but I didn't hate the movie. As much as I'm ragging on it, I don't hate this movie as much as I hate something like Terminator. No, not Terminator. Maybe one of the later Terminators. Terminator Genesis, or the way it's spelled. Everybody calls it Terminator Jenny Smith or Terminator Dark Fate. Those movies fucking suck. No, it starts with a T. Transformers 2, Revenge of the Fallen, which is the first movie I ever saw that made me realize at a very young age, oh, movies can really suck.
Yeah.
No, those are movies that I
Also,
really hate.
let's not forget the fact that they name dropped this movie twice.
Do you not know?
They
We will teach you. Yeah, we must
way of,
teach you. And then James Cameron slowly pans up to a blue face, the way of water.
yeah.
And they say it in a weird Jamaican accent.
Cuzzo.
Here's another thing I really don't understand about the Pandora Avatar universe. You get to the blue, the water tribe, right?
Yeah. And they're gray.
And no, they're blue, right? They're teal.
Teal. Yeah.
They're kind of the color of the water. Why are the tree Navi, the tree tribe, why are they also blue? That doesn't blend in with the trees.
The Earth tribe. No, okay. So I want to get into this. They're the Earth tribe.
Is blue, like fucking bright, like cyan. What's the fucking game called with the imposter? Among Us, fucking cyan blue.
Yep.
You can see them from space in the trees. That's not camouflage. Why do the ocean dwellers have perfect camouflage? I don't think evolution quite reached your tree dwelling people.
So if you think about it, think about this. It was released. It was announced that the next Avatar movie, the Navi Fire Tribe,
Way of Fire. I'm sure it'll be something about fucking fire.
Will
fucking
be
fire.
The next tribe shown, and that made me think. We've seen the Earth tribes.
This is coming back to the last Airbender, isn't it?
We've seen the water tribes. We're gonna get the fire tribes. Do you think James Cameron is creating his own Avatar: The Last Airbender universe
we're gonna get
on Pandora?
We're gonna get the fire tribe, and then we're gonna get the wind tribe, and then we're gonna get
we already got the Earth
tribe. Mountain tribe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, James Cameron is going to come up with other elements of nature other than water, fire, air, earth. He's going to come up with other elements so we can keep making movies. There's going to be like
metal benders.
Yeah, fucking ore benders. A Minecraft spin-off, if you will.
Yeah.
The cobblestone tribe. That would get my ass in seats because no one adores cobblestone quite like me. I have an entire castle in our friend Brian's server to prove it, and it's very impressive.
Yeah.
But it kind of started out as a meme before the movie came out that they're gonna do Avatar, The Last Airbender. They're gonna do everything, and now I think they're gonna do it. I think James Cameron's gonna do it.
I think this crazy son of a bitch is gonna do it.
I am going to go out on a limb. I guarantee he's gonna do it because I've seen the storylines of the last two movies, and I've seen how they look. Visually, James Cameron, top of his game, for the most part. I will say there are some early scenes that kind of look like they're out of a PS3 cutscene where the humans come back and they come back in their colonization ships and they burn the forests and all the animals fucking burn and whatever. And those kind of look like they were out of a video game cutscene. I mean, and then there's some weird frame rate decisions that he made that just didn't line up with whatever else was going on screen. But for the most part, 95% of this movie looks fucking incredible. That's where James Cameron is. James Cameron is here. This is visuals.
Yes.
This is story. This is 2009. This is 2022.
Yes.
That's 13 fucking years. I was hoping that he would, in 13 years, come out with a better storyline than the same as the first film, but with water and save the whales.
Yeah.
Save the whales, though, because that's the message. That's the message of this story.
Yeah.
And the whole fucking the subplot of the whale brains that cures human aging, which was just completely glossed over. And he got that vial of the whale brain. And I think he said this is worth $80 million. I don't know what economy they're living in at the time, but I think the cure to aging is worth a little bit more than $80 million.
Yes.
I don't know what the economy is like. I could be proven wrong by some Avatar stands down in the comments section. Please hit us up. There's so much about this film that is just have you seen Glass Onion? You have,
yes.
right? You have?
Yes.
Okay, you have. So I'll take a line from Benoit Blanc.
Okay, can't wait.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. The story in this movie is so dumb.
But how dumb is it? Please tell me. So dumb, it's brilliant. No, it's just dumb.
It's just dumb.
It's just dumb.
It's just so fucking dumb.
Which ironically is how I felt about the ending of Glass Onion.
But so fucking dumb.
I mean, it's so fucking. There's so much in here that's so dumb, but then there's so much in here where it's like, that's really cool. Please flesh out the thinnest rope you can of a story and make it cooler, because there's really cool stuff in here.
If you also hold on, if James Cameron, I'm gonna get into a little bit of spoiler, not too much. If James Cameron once fleshed out that the Na'vi can speak to whales,
which still hasn't been explained, I don't know if he's
the fucking kid goes under and just speaks to this whale. And I think I looked at you in the movie theater and I said, "What?
Is not of the water tribe. Has never seen a whale in his life,
and he's speaking.
He lives in the woods with awful fucking blue camouflage among the trees, which doesn't work.
And he does the thing.
I guess we're supposed to just believe.
He does the stereotypical kid thing where they're just like, don't go out there and find the whales. Well, he's like, well, fuck you. I'm going to go find these whales. And he finds the whale and they're like, well, don't talk to that whale. And he goes, fuck you. I'm going to talk to that whale. And he talks to that whale. The whale talks back. And he's like, I understand you. You're my friend.
Yeah. I can't imagine if some toddler went up to Hitler and they understood each other speaking for a second. Wow, Hitler, you're my friend now. That's not how it works. And that brings me to another thing in the movie that really fucking irked me, was how shitty of a leader and a father Jake Sully is. Because there's at least six instances in this film where his children, despite having direct orders from Jake Sully, who is the leader of this
Na'vi Earth
resistance Na'vi group, and then when they move, he gives them a bunch of he tells them, stay put, don't do that, and they ignore him every time. And every time he catches them, he's like, go back home. He doesn't do anything to. It's a great commentary on bad parenting.
And then
They
the
don't
one
respect their father at all.
I
They
also want to
continue
say
to disobey him
I
throughout
want
the
I want
entire movie up until the ending. They fucking disobey him.
I want to bring up the fact that one, I find it very weird that Sigourney Weaver played a 14-year-old girl in motion
Oh,
capture.
I still haven't gotten over that. I don't know how I didn't transition to that from a Monster Calls, that conversation. That was the weirdest shit that I've seen in a long time.
I get when they wanted to be like, okay, your DNA is the same, but you don't need a 75-year-old woman mocapping for a 14-year-old. Especially the part where she like had her seizure and Jake Sully's sitting next to her and he's hugging her and he's telling her, he's calling her baby girl, and he's looking like is Sam Worthington looking Sigourney Weaver in the eyes and calling her baby girl? It's okay. Like how do like
Uh,
it's
I
so
mean,
weird.
if
It's so
she
dumb. It's
wasn't
dumb.
playing that part, then you on the poster you could not put Sigourney Weaver's name with all of the other stars that are mocapping in this film. That you
Sigourney Weaver
can't
was
see
in the
because
movie.
you don't know who the fuck is who. I
Sigourney,
didn't know until after the movie who Kate Winslet was until I looked it up.
yes.
Stephen Lang is obviously just playing gung ho Marine Stephen Lang, but I mean, I was genuinely uncomfortable, like watching Sigourney Weaver like sensuously lay down in the grass, in the most seductive, like Victoria's Secret way imaginable. And I'm like, there's a 72-year-old woman doing this, or is there a younger, or is there somebody else doing this, and she's just voicing over the lines?
No.
Although I think she was mocapping it.
She was mocapping it.
That's just weird. I don't.
I also don't like that
I don't.
character. I also think her character of that girl was so stupid.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot that doesn't make sense too. I
We
mean,
can
the
talk
fact
a
that
little
like
bit
she,
about the
I mean,
ending,
the
the
underwater
Titanic.
seizures, she
We can
zones
talk about the
out.
Titanic ending where or fuck you. Fuck you. We're getting into spoilers a little bit. They're drowning. Sorry. The Titanic is sinking and they're stuck inside.
Oh, the Titanic has sunk.
The
It is at
Titanic
the bottom of
sinks.
the ocean,
The
and it's been
Titanic
at the
sinks
bottom of the
and
ocean
they're
for
stuck
20
inside.
minutes.
And guess what happens? This girl's playing with fucking jellyfish and the fucking little fireflies. Maybe help your dad and your mother who's dying.
Well, that's not even my biggest issue with that scene. Although you know my biggest issue with that scene, I'm going to assume that you do.
Yeah.
It has to do with being unconscious underwater and not
For
dying
20
for
minutes.
an absurd amount of time, and a really stupid character decision that goes against everything that a character said and did before then. But for the
Well,
purpose
and
of
then what
another
happened
movie,
after? And then
make that decision.
don't forget the cat hiss.
Yes, nothing's more intimidating than a
You saved my life.
yeah. Why'd you save me? Oh, fuck you! I hate you again. But we need another movie because we want your money. I don't know what. I don't know what. I mean,
So fucking dumb.
again, I don't know about
And then, but what's
fucking.
gonna happen? See, that makes me think, what's gonna happen in this next movie? In this next movie, they're gonna fight. They're gonna not get along with this fire tribe, and then here comes fucking Stephen Lang again.
Yeah, Stephen Lang has unlocked explosive crossbows, and also if the next movie comes out and Stephen Lang makes his way back to the human military base again and comes back with more reinforcements, I'm walking out of the theater.
I see two
I
things
can't see
happening.
that happen again.
I see two things happening with this new movie. One, and it's going to be what happened in this one. Jake Sully's family meets a new tribe. Jake Sully and new tribe, they don't like each other, but then they become family, and they fight Stephen Lang again. Or
That's
the second thing,
lovely.
which I see happening, and it's going to be so stereotypical in these kinds of fucking movies where they bring the villain back, is that Jake Sully and Stephen Lang team up to
Is
fight.
Emperor Palpatine coming back?
Somehow Palpatine's returned.
Yeah, I mean, it's very. I think. I think
That's
it's
what it's going to
very
be. It's gonna
predictable
be
that they try to give some kind of a redemption arc
but
to.
that's what
I don't
they're
even
going to
remember
pull.
his name.
I,
No, it's not Cor. It's
uh,
Colonel something.
Colonel, whatever the Colonel fucktard, but
Yeah,
is
Colonel fucking Blue, Colonel Alfred Blue, running
but
back for the
what's
Texans.
but what's going to happen is, and I see Jake Sully's going to grab Natiri at some point in this next movie, and they're going to pull the Rise of Skywalker line out, and he's gonna pull her aside, and he's going to get real close. It's going to be at night when everyone's asleep, and she's going to be like, she's going to call him, Jake Sully, what's the plan? He's going to be like, look, somehow Stephen Lang returned.
That'll be uh yeah, that'll be they're gonna save that one for the Way of Wind. Because he's already coming back for the next movie.
Yeah, he's going to come
So
back
I
for all
mean
these
they're
movies.
gonna have to kill him off, and then he's gonna have to come back because somehow the humans they got his body and they're transferring it from some cryogenic chamber to another blue smurf that they
Or they're
fucking
going to do
killed.
this. Or they're going to do this. He's going to die in his transport back, and they're gonna take one of the bodies of the water Navi that they killed. So when Jake Sully teams up with the fire, he's gonna come in as a water,
He's gonna
and
be
it's
a
gonna go like that.
firefighter.
He was a human, and when Jake Sully went to the water, he came back as an earthling, Navi. And then when he goes to the fire, he's gonna come back as a water Navi. And then when they go to
You know
the
what?
orbitals, he's gonna come back as a fire Navi. It's gonna be this whole fucking system.
You know what it's gonna be? It's gonna be like in
Then
this
every
movie.
single
This
movie that has to do with flame and lava and whatever is going to be put in that next movie.
yeah. Well, what they're gonna do in the next
So the
movie
Fire
within
Navi
this
is going to
movie?
live in Mordor. Like they're going to have this whole thing.
Yeah, there's gonna be the Eye of Sauron and everything. It's gonna be
Yep.
fucking epic. But they're gonna bring back.
But
He,
that Eye of Sauron is just going to be fucking Stephen Lang.
yeah, the eye.
He'll look like
The
he's going to look
eye
like the
of
Wizard of Oz.
yeah, the Eye of Colonel Fucktard.
The floating
This
head
this
of Oz.
movie was basically you know, Free Willy. So the next movie, fire versus water. How can we relate that? 9/11. This is going to be a commentary on 9/11. James Cameron tackles the fucking towers. It's perfect. The Na'vi have two gigantic trees, and the humans
He's just going to fly a
fly
helicopter
these
through it.
starships into him. And he has to put the fire out because he has his whole redemption arc. James Cameron, I am available for screenwriting. Please hire me. I have nothing else going on.
9/11.
Nothing at all. I'm at a fucking shake weight. So you want to fucking make something profound with a message that the American people are going to go to the box office for? There you go.
Avatar's version of 9/11.
This is perfect.
Holy fuck.
Oh man. You see my eyes right now? Dollar signs. That's all I see right now is fucking green. Green and greed and blue people. That sounds racist for some reason, but I know it's not. But we need another race of maybe it's not the humans, maybe it's the dirt tribe. The brown people who fly into the fucking thing.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Are they going to live underground? Are they going to be like the mole? They're going to be like the mole people.
yeah, the cave dwellers.
Yeah, they live underground. They have like a whole system like ants.
Oh, it's perfect. I can't wait. It's just us ragging on the fucking movie for however long we've been ragging on the movie for.
We don't hate
Again,
the movie. We don't hate the movie.
I did not hate the movie. I think it's a perfectly meh movie that annoyed the shit out of me.
That is probably the best looking movie I've seen.
It's it's not the best looking movie I've seen. The technology behind it's very impressive. The best looking movie, the movie that impressed me most visually that I've ever seen is probably 2049.
Yeah, yeah, I
That
agree.
movie absolutely fucking stuns me every time I watch it.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
but I mean, I can't deny that the technical achievement is incredible to look at for the most part, because there are parts where it looks like it's a video game cutscene, but 95% of the time it looks fucking gorgeous. And if you just sink back into those visuals, then I mean, like almost $2 billion worth of box office revenue has done, people have just sat back and gone, and that's it. I'd like to ask like some 45-year-old soccer mom how the story impacted them. Maybe like it was pretty,
You'd be
and
like,
that's
but
pretty much
you
it.
didn't realize that
But
it's the same exact story as the first movie?
and you know what she would say? I didn't. There's a first movie. What's the first movie called? I didn't know. I
Apt.
just thought it wasn't Star Wars or Marvel, which is echoing my sentiment, which I'm glad something that wasn't Marvel or Star Wars made this much money. And then the other side of me says, why the fuck did it have to be Avatar again? Why couldn't it have been The Last Duel from 2021?
Yeah.
That movie was fucking incredible. I know why people didn't watch that, because nobody wants to watch an R-rated rape tale from the 1300s. Again, if you replace everybody in the world with me, The Last Duel is the highest grossing film of all time.
At what point do you think, after James Cameron's Avatar storyline ends, that he just remakes all of these movies, but as like Navi?
This is what concerns me about James Cameron. I would love to see James Cameron do something other than Avatar, because people will go and see it.
Yes.
And I think he's fucked. He's not fucked. Like he's gonna absolutely cash in, but I don't know if he's gonna do
He's
anything in the
fucked
future that's
us.
not Avatar.
He's fucked us.
He's fucked me. I love Terminator 2. I love Aliens. Um, I don't love Titanic, but what else has James Cameron done? The Abyss. I mean, a lot of
Abyss.
stuff with water. True Lies. He's done a lot of stuff that I really like. Um, but I mean, Terminator and Terminator 2 are awesome. But uh,
He
I mean,
did
James Cameron,
he did Alita Battle Angel.
he directed that.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He
No,
directed Alita. No, he didn't.
no, he didn't.
He
Robert
produced it.
Rodriguez did. He produced it.
Oh yeah, I like Robert Rodriguez. Very,
He's
yeah. Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino are pretty much just the same person.
he was a he was a producer. No, he wrote the screenplay for. Oh, get ready for this, and this makes sense. We didn't add this to our fucking list of movies that this became. There's two of them. Point Break.
Are these the new ones?
No, the 1991 Point
Oh,
Break.
the Catherine Bigelow directed one, right?
He was a part. He had a part of that movie, and he wrote the screenplay for Rambo: First Blood Part Two.
That's weird. Yeah, I would not guess that. First Blood Part Two, which is the most fucking convoluted title for a film I have ever seen.
Yep. He wrote
Rambo First
he
Blood, but it's not First Blood. It's Part Two of First
Yeah,
Blood.
Rambo 2. He him and Sol
This was a
him and Sylvester, they him and Sly wrote that movie,
yeah.
which I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure Stephen Lang's character just was Rambo.
It was a well. I mean, yeah. Although Sylvester Stallone is an anomaly to me. I don't. I mean, I guess actors do. Like he kind of is up there with like Liam Neeson in the way that he can star in so many cookie cutter action movies that you've seen a million times
And you're still gonna
that
say
are
it.
all the same, and then boom, Sylvester Stallone, Creed, and I was just full. I was shocked. I was like, "That's Sylvester Stallone acting. That's incredible."
And doing a really good job.
Yeah, and then I like Liam Neeson. I watched Liam Neeson in
I just watched his Blacklight came out this year or last year, 2022. Dog shit movie, but it's the same exact movie all of Liam Neeson's Honest Thief, all these fucking movies. What was the one where he saved the little
Oh, you mean that
he was the
you
border
the Taken franchise?
no, he was the border patrol guy.
Oh, I think I may have bought that. Was it Ice Road?
No.
Yeah.
Um
I don't know. There's so many things here. His oh my god, his history here is insane. Is it the Marksman?
The Marksman.
No, it was the Marksman. Okay,
Mhm.
which I don't know. What I haven't seen it. I haven't seen.
But Taken, Memory, Blacklight, The Marksman, Ice Road. Let me
I
think.
don't understand Liam Neeson at all. You look at Liam
Honest
Neeson's.
Thief,
You look at
Nonstop,
his pages.
The Commuter, The Gray, Cold
The
Pursuit.
Gray is good. I think the Gray is very
Okay,
good
the Gray's
actually.
okay. Yeah, I won't add the Gray in that. Cold Pursuit, Nonstop, The Commuter, like all of these movies,
Cold Pursuit. Actually,
all
Cold
of
Pursuit is a movie I did buy recently from an FYE.
like
I was very curious about it.
all of these movies are the exact same movie.
Yeah. And you know what you see here in the middle of all of these, which just slaps you in the face, and you're like,
Expendables,
Schindler's List?
yeah, Schindler's List,
This is the dude who starred in Schindler's List?
The A Team.
Like he can't get any other although I don't know why Silence isn't as high as it should be. Like cause he didn't have a starring role in
He was in
Silence,
a
but
was it
Silence was
was he in
really,
a was
really
oh
good.
yeah, you said he was a monster. He was the monster
A
in
Monster Calls. He was the monster, yeah. Which is probably why he's not
he was
that
Aslan
high up, which is why that's not
in
popping
Narnia.
up higher up on your the Safari list or IMDb or whatever you're looking at because he's voicing an animated character.
Um
And Liam Neeson is not the he's not the best part of A Monster Calls.
he's the best part of fucking Narnia.
And oddly enough, Narnia doesn't pop up when you search up Liam Neeson. No, you get the Expendables 4 and
Qui-Gon Jinn
the A Team.
and Star,
Men in Italy. What the fuck? I didn't even.
Star
Okay.
Wars.
Liam Neeson he's an anomaly to me.
But you know what? I'm gonna watch him every time he's on. I'm gonna watch it.
I think I think it's gonna be very similar if you look up Sylvester Stallone's name.
It's
Let's
only
see.
a matter of time that Liam Neeson becomes a
He's
fucking avatar.
76 years old. And he looks like that's incredible. I can't believe that.
It's only a matter of
Sylvester
time.
Stallone looks incredible.
Only a matter
Yeah,
of
I
time
mean fucking
Before Liam Neeson becomes an avatar.
I don't know about that. James Cameron has a very he keeps like the he only seems to reuse the same actors.
And it's only Sigourney
I
Weaver.
mean Sigourney Weaver. You
Kate
have
Winslet.
hold on. I'm trying to figure out I need to look at more movies that James Cameron's made because there's the obvious ones and then there's the ones like The Abyss, True Lies. He really hasn't directed that many movies. It's just when he does, it explodes at the box office. The only ones that Avatar 2009, Avatar 2022, Titanic, Terminator, Aliens, Terminator 2, and then The Abyss and True Lies. And then there was a Piranha movie that he directed way back in the day that was awful. In 1981, I think.
He's had five
And
movies,
he doesn't.
five
It's
movies since
incredible.
Titanic in 1997.
5 movies since Titanic. He hasn't. Well, he's had one that he's directed. It was Titanic, and then Avatar, and then this Avatar. It's
Three.
I see. This is the thing about James Cameron. I was not. I knew we were going to talk about The Way of Water. I knew it was going to go on this massive tangent, just getting sidetracked. I didn't know it was going to last this long. I should have expected it to last this long because this is the James Cameron effect. I keep talking about James Cameron. I'm like, okay. The Way of Fire is going to be fucking fire, though, right? He's going to learn how to actually write a good story.
I hope so.
And the last movie that I went to go see in theaters was The Way of Water, and I didn't want to go see it because just more money that movie's going to make over other movies that are probably more deserving to make.
But you knew at some point it had to be
I
done.
knew it was going to. It's every James Cameron movie that comes out. I say that, and there's been 2. There's been 3 since I've been alive that he's directed. And I'm saying every James Cameron movie that comes out.
And
Oh,
only 2 of them you've seen, and only 2 of them you've seen in theaters.
Yeah, I have seen one James Cameron film. Well, actually, I definitely have the opportunity to see more because he just continues to re-release them in theaters. I'm really excited to go see this new Titanic movie that's coming out soon in
On
theaters.
Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's gonna be incredible. Way to fucking pander there, Jimmy. Can't even be mad. I think I would love to have like a back and forth with James Cameron, like him just like being really snarky with me and and me being snarky to him.
We got to get him.
And
We got to get him.
and then at the end of it, he'd be like, "You're all right," and I'm like, "Don't make another Avatar movie, please."
And then he's gonna get off this Zoom call.
And then he's
and
gonna be like,
sit
"You know what?
there.
Fuck you." And then boom, Avatar: The Way of Wind grosses $3 billion at the box office, but somehow has absolutely no cultural impact whatsoever.
He's gonna get off this Zoom call once we finally get him on. He's gonna say, "You know what, kid, you're all right," and you're gonna walk away from that conversation. You're gonna be like, "God damn it, I like him."
Yeah, and then the next Avatar movie, you're gonna see me in the screenwriting credits. But I was pushed off by Rick Joff and Amanda Silver because I had too many risky ideas. And by their
Like
term of their definition of risky is character building.
like remake.
A good story. But no, people are gonna see it anyway. No, we can't have art house stories like Dune and Denis Villeneuve. We need straightforward stuff that casual, dumb audience members will just go and just be like,
Yep. And then they're going to release a Screen Rant article
again,
that says, they're going to release a Screen Rant article that says, James Cameron's new friend, Zach Todd, has been kicked off of the writing privileges because of his risky idea of the Avatar recreating 9/11.
Listen, James, I think we need to be more poignant here, okay? We need to. And they'd be like, 2 giant trees run into by 2 very, very large starships, and a third one on a way to an unknown destination that crashed in the forest.
But it's not going to be the forest. It's going to be the ocean.
Yeah, that crashed into the ocean, which was taken over by the Na'vi. Which was that one. What was I don't know.
And then when those trees fall, you have Steve Lang's character put the American flag up.
Yeah, and then Stephen Lang, and then you get a close up on Stephen Lang saying, "Oil doesn't burn through deep roots." And
We're
then
not in
and then we got a
Kansas
and then we need
anymore.
a George Bush character. It'll be great. Money.
And that's how it starts.
And
It,
then
st-
boom.
it starts with Stephen Lang's avatar talking to like George Bush's avatar, and he's like, "We're not in Kansas anymore."
Joe Navi Biden. Joe, they kept Joe Biden alive and put him in a Navi, and they put him up on a stand. He walks up to the stand and he falls over on the stand. Gets up, falls over again. Then he gets up on the stand.
Falls asleep.
Yeah, that or you have a Donald Trump Navi go up there and be like, where look, there's my little blue friend. How great are you? My little blue friend, how great is he? Round of applause. I
It's
don't
just gonna
know.
be a blue Navi. It's
This
gonna
is
be a
the
blue
thing.
Navi with an orange pump.
This is the thing about James Cameron films, though. This is why they make so much money. Conversations like this, you know? I'm not talking about fucking 9/11 propaganda, Banshees of Inisherin, or Pinocchio. Although Pinocchio, I could probably find a rabbit hole where 9/11 works from bouncing off of fascist Italy for some type of a sequel. But you see a good film, you talk about it, and you move on to a James Cameron film that you can't fucking stop talking about.
You talk about a James Cameron movie for about an hour.
And I don't think I've said anything good about it. Again, I don't I don't hate it. Which is shocking because we talked about it for so goddamn long. I don't know how long this episode's going to be. There's so much shit packed into this.
I know. I'm gonna have to.
Oh my god! I mean, I
I'm
was.
gonna have fun editing it this weekend.
This is gonna be, yeah. I mean, you're gonna fucking, yeah.
This
We're
is
gonna
gonna
be.
come out. This is gonna come out
I'm gonna have
Monday.
to help.
It is currently.
We're gonna have to.
We
We're gonna
started
edit
recording.
for
Let's see.
fucking a week.
We started this recording at Thursday night, January 19th. It is now 1 a.m. January 20th, Friday. This is not going to come out until Monday. Oh, God,
We're gonna have to edit this one together because this is gonna be a long one.
this is going to be bad.
But
Again,
we
final
we
takeaways.
we will edit this video. We will edit all of this footage, everything that's happened, stitch it all together, and it will still be 3 times shorter than Avatar 2. At least 3 times shorter than Avatar 2. And again, I wanted to hate it. I didn't hate it. It's just, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's so fucking dumb. But it's God damn it, James Cameron. How have you managed this? This niche that James Cameron has done, that is figured out.
It's causing you to spiral.
I don't understand. But I would prefer to talk about Pinocchio or Banshees of Inisherin or anything else that I've seen. Fucking All Quiet on the Western Front. Tar, the menu when I see the menu, but it's like we talked about on the way there. Everything comes back to fucking Avatar and James Cameron. And I don't think I'm ever going to fully escape. I don't know.
Oh,
It is an inescapable orb.
it feels so good to be back.
If people watch this and we go on another 3-month long hiatus, they are going to be pissed. The ultimate blue balls.
You know who had blue balls?
Oh, I used that term. I inserted that term with intent. Everything is fucking blue. You see my deodorant here? What does that say? Nautica Oceans.
You know what I've been drinking?
Fucking liquid. Yeah. It's even blue. That's blue. It even says blue. Fucking blue Smurf drink beer.
It's Red Bull.
Yeah. And this
Blue,
leads me
the blue edition.
God damn it. This leads me
I
into
didn't.
even more possible rabbit holes we can go down.
I,
Do the
I,
Na'vi have
I,
alcohol? Do they get drunk?
I
What do the
didn't.
Na'vi drink?
I didn't do this.
Surely they like to get wicked and wild sometimes. And again, I don't care. I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but I myself have brought us down another fucking Avatar rabbit hole.
We'll save that for the next episode.
Yeah. All right. Let's transition out of Avatar.
We can just end it. We've been doing this for
to
fucking 3 hours.
blast off from Pandora right now because every time I get here, all I do is criticize the fucking inhabitants.
Well,
And all right. We are off of Na'vi. We're in the stratosphere right now. We're heading back to Earth. Although in the only reason the humans are going to Pandora is because Earth is a shit show. So I guess we're going back to Pandora.
So next time you guys hear from us, we will be back on Earth.
Back on Earth, and then we're gonna get shot right back to Pandora, I'm sure. Avatar, the fucking firebenders.